This is Nifty Culture. I'm Pio, and this evening I have the pleasure of speaking with Sean Kelly, one of the creators of the Chibi Dinos NFT project. How's it going, Sean?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Happy to have you on. I definitely think that this is a cool and interesting project. I'm excited to dive into it. It's been live for about a week at this point, right?
Yeah, exactly a week today.
Awesome. And you guys sold out.
Yeah, we sold out 18 minutes. It was exciting and been doing a lot of stuff since.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the success. I definitely am excited to dive in. So I'm going to pull it up right now. At the kind of surface level, what can you tell us about, the inspiration for the project and just what prompted you to start running with this?
Yeah, so prior to NFTs, I was a big buyer in Top Shot and also a coin called Omi. And I sort of studied what they were doing. Obviously, I owned the jersey company, so I wanted to incorporate jerseys into the design. And I knew the Asian market was huge into NFTs and crypto, so that's sort of where the chibis came into play because those are popular in Asia. And I wanted to make them cute, kind of like Pudgy Penguin style. And I think we sort of incorporated all those elements into one NFT.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that it seems like very calculated. The way you approached it, you have the basketball and then those other themes that you talked about. And so, as far as like the project's roadmap, utility, what can you kind of tell us about that?
Yeah, so right now there's 10 different basketball teams. We created all the teams and they're dinosaur related. And right now we're finding team captains for each team. So far we got 5 team captains. They're all NBA players, and we're announcing the other 5 within the next week. We got some big ones coming, so I'm excited. And then from there, that's where the gamification starts beginning. So we're already developing a game, and it's going to be pretty exciting. And we're also incorporating a lot of utility in the real world. So like there's a dunk contest in Vegas in 2 weeks, and to get VIP meet and greet tickets, all you got to do is show your Chibi Dino. And I'm partnering with a lot of influencer leagues, and pretty much I really liked what Gary did with V Friends, where the NFT is like a ticket. So I'm doing a ton of that in the basketball space as well.
Awesome. And so you actually have business relationships with NBA players that are affiliated with the project?
Yep. So far the captains are RJ Hampton, Michael Carter Williams, Sharif O'Neal, who's Shaq's son. Did I say Kendrick Perkins yet?
No, but I'm from Boston, man. So come on, Perk's a
Uh,
legend.
yeah, and right now I'm talking to some big players too, so I'm excited. By the way, I didn't share the link. Where do I get that to post in the
I
Discord?
pinged it. Yeah, I pinged it to you on Discord.
Let me find that.
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry about
So no worries at all. I'm gonna just zoom in on some of these dinos. I like the inspiration for the jersey because you can see like this is kind of inspired by the vintage San Antonio Spurs. Here's the vintage Raptors. This was the Atlanta Hawks old jerseys. I think this maybe a modern Atlanta Hawks, Miami Heat. I love the color patterns, and people love collectibles like basketball, like jersey collectibles, sneakers, stuff like that. So I think you definitely hit the nail on the head with the angle that you took.
Yeah, we wanted to bring the basketball audience. We wanted them to decide what's rare, what's not. So like we noticed the number 23s have been selling well, and the number 24 for Kobe and stuff. And we're just letting the market decide, and it's cool to watch.
For sure. And is there, different like rarity of the different pieces? Like could you kind of touch on that?
Yeah, so there's 9 different dinosaurs, 10 different basketball teams. Certain objects are more rare than others. There's golden dinos that are rare. I believe the ones with laser eyes are rare. And then the market's sort of deciding which numbers they're liking right now. But I did notice 23, 8, 24 are doing well. And right now, we're just trying to build a community within each team because we really want that team aspect. So that's why we're naming captains, and we want people to be proud that they're part of that team.
Awesome. And you have a business, prior to this, and it's a jersey related business, correct?
Yep. Yeah. So
Nice. And
we
so
sold, yeah, basically just sports jerseys, and ironically, basketball jerseys were our top seller. So definitely wanted to hit that market. And that's kind of what got my foot in the door with all these NBA players because I made jerseys for a ton of them. So from there, it's easy just bringing them on as team captains and having. I have to educate them about NFTs because a lot of them don't even know what they are, but it's fun because a lot of them are super excited about it now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing there's at least one player. His name's escaping me now. I think he plays on the Pelicans. I don't know
Josh
why I'm
Hart.
not thinking. Yeah, Josh Hart. I was thinking Josh Smith, Josh Hart, and he's really big into the space, right?
Yep, we might be bringing him on as a captain. A little sneak peek for everyone here.
Okay, breaking news. Breaking the news on Nifty Culture. Let's go. Um, well, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, like, I think a lot of people would be curious, how you get those relationships with players, but there's the answer. You had that prior business, so that was your foot in the door, and that kind of opens doors for something like this. I think that pro athletes are some of the most kind of primed individuals to want to have an opportunity to capitalize on the NFT space. The LaMelo Ball drop, that was an independent drop, not a part of the NBA, like not a part of Top Shot. And I think that NFTs will allow players to have more ownership, which I know when I listen to podcasts and listen to interviews with these players, they talk a lot about ownership of their own brand and ownership of their likeness, because at the end of the day, you are an employee when you're an NBA player. Do you agree with that? And have you heard any of those sentiments from the players that you've collaborated with?
No, I definitely agree with that. I actually just learned last week when I was meeting with Kevin Durant's trainer. He told me because I thought the jersey sales were kind of based on which jerseys are selling the most, that player makes more. But actually, they divvy up all the totals and divide it equally amongst the players, which I thought was interesting. So I think when people can create their own narrative with their own NFT line and make a much significant larger portion of the sales, I think players are going to be all over that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can look at that setup two ways. The 12th man gets a good deal because he's getting a share of jersey revenue, even though, people aren't buying the 12th man's jersey. But then Kevin Durant is going to be a big time seller, and he might be thinking, well, how come I have to share the proceeds from my hard work and my skill level, with my popularity with everyone else? So NFTs, on the other hand, with the LaMelo Ball one, we've had a guest on here that's basically a LaMelo Ball whale, and he just said that he'd been following LaMelo for years, following his career, and really believed in him, and saw the LaMelo Ball NFT as an opportunity to invest. So he really bought like a pretty considerable. And he bought in with a pretty considerable investment. So I think NFTs will definitely be a very strong way for athletes to monetize their likeness.
Yeah, I agree. I think the most important thing with the athletes is they have to keep engaging with their community after the drop and not just, post one time and not talk about it again.
Right, and that's hard when you're playing 82 games a year.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So back to Chibi Dinos, obviously. What can you tell us about the community response? What can you tell us here? 1 week after the drop, I'd imagine that the success was really, a fantastic experience, and I would just love to know where you're at now.
Yeah, so prior to the drop, I messaged the top probably 50, maybe 100 people in the NFT space asking them for advice. And the number one answer was always build the community, focus on the community. So that's
Hmm.
been my main focus, increasing the number of holders, unique holders, and also just engaging with the community, being there for them. And luckily, the floor price has almost doubled because we minted at 0.06. So I'm pretty happy. It's not like insane explosive gains like some of these projects, but I think slow and steady wins the race in the long run. And we're providing tons of utility in real world like applications with the Chibis. We're not just an image. And we want to take it 3D down the road. We want to do the game down the road. It's your ticket to events down the road. So I'm excited. Main focus building that community out, listening to them, taking a lot of their advice, and yeah, we'll see what goes. We'll see what happens from there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing here 3.2K unique holders out of 10K, 32%, and we're only a week in. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we started. I think after minting, it was 2,200. So we've picked up a
Oh,
thousand.
wow.
Yeah, so
But
I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, 2,200 at mint is really good, and then to bring it up to 3,200 is fantastic. And what you said about the slow and steady wins the race, I totally agree with that. There's been quite a few like almost like pump and dump style drops that have happened recently, where like they pump so high, and everyone's like, oh my goodness, what's happening? But then people end up buying in at like 1+ ETH, 2+ ETH, and the floor just crumbles down to like zero point 0.6, zero point 0.5. Those people are feeling kind of some type of way about the situation, and then the floor can continue to correct. So I think that the slow and steady way is much healthier, especially for a long-term project. If it's a rug pull, then who cares, right? But I don't think anyone's really setting out, anyone decent is really setting out for a rug pull. So when I look at this and I see like the point 0.11 floor after the point 0.06 drop, it reminds me of Top Dog Beach Club that now after months is at 0.15 floor, which is almost 3x mint price. And it's like it took a while to get there, but it's a stable floor. It's not going anywhere. And if anything, it's just going up.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I like that for sure. My main concern was just the price, the floor not going below mint price. That's what I was worried about. So I'm just
Right.
happy that didn't happen.
Yeah, and even if it did though, like experience, I know it doesn't look good, and especially if since this is so accessible, since it's like basketball and these themes that you've carefully curated to appeal to certain markets, I would imagine that these NFTs onboard new people into the NFT space, like people that didn't have any NFTs before. Maybe they want to go to that event. They hear that if you just buy this thing, then you actually have an asset that you can later sell, and it serves as a ticket, and maybe it appreciates as an asset, and maybe you have a ton of other real life utility. So I'd imagine it would onboard people. So those people, if it drops below mint price, that might make them feel some type of way. But then again, if you look at like Bored Apes, for example, they dropped below mint price. That project that I just talked about, Top Dog Beach Club, also dropped before mint price. So it's something that can happen. But I totally understand from your perspective. You're like, I don't want it to drop below mint price, man. Let's get it going.
Yeah, I didn't know apes went below mint. That's interesting.
Dude, and that's what makes it so bad that I don't own any. I could have just bought them for less than mint price. It's
Oh
unreal,
my
but
god, so many people
it,
were trying to sell me them at 50K last week, and I denied like 10 people.
I mean, 50K, it's hard to take a flyer on something, even if it is Bored Apes at 50K, just because 50K is 50K. Because now in 3 weeks, we might be saying we could have bought it at 100K and it's at 175K.
Yeah, you never know.
Straight up. So, anything else you'd want to kind of let people know about the project, what they should expect, why they should get involved in it? I'd love to hear any other thoughts you have.
I think just if you're a basketball fan, keep an eye on it. Like a super long-term goal is obviously in the metaverse to have an interdimensional basketball league where we're playing all the other basketball NFT companies like Rumble Kong and whatever else is out by then. But I'm just super passionate about it. I mean, obviously, the jerseys is what made me who I am, just selling those for 5 years straight. So I built a lot of relationships in that space, not even just NBA players, with all the YouTube basketballers and NCAA players and stuff. So I'm going to try to get as many of those guys on board as I can because I think the NFT space is, I think the top tier projects are here to stay.
Yeah, I was going to ask actually. That's a good call. Like, there's a lot of YouTube basketball guys. There's the guy, what's his name? I think Brennan or something that does the impressions really well, right? Like impressions of other players and all these different basketball YouTubers. I feel like NFTs is a really good way for them to capitalize. Also, has anyone already reached out to you or any conversations happened yet?
So I reached out to Nick Briz yesterday. I reached out to Devonte Friga. I think those two are the main ones I'm talking to right now, and they're super interested in this space. So we're gonna see what we could come up with those two guys. They're pretty big right now too, getting like 1 million views on each video.
That's a big deal, man. If you get 1 million views on each video, you can sell out an NFT project, and yeah, I mean that's really cool. I'm sure they'll have a bright future in the space, and if you're aligned with them, that bodes well for you and bodes well for this project. Well, yeah, I mean, thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully, we can check in on this project in a bit once some time's passed, and just looking forward to seeing how it progresses, and just really happy that you came on.
Thank you so much. Yeah, next time I'd love to bring my other three partners so you can see the whole team. But yeah, thanks so much for having me. It was awesome.
Absolutely, man. We could do like a round table type of thing, and maybe even gamify it, man. Gamble with some Chibi Dinos on the line, you know?
Let's do it.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching. See you guys.
Awesome. Bye, guys.